Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really glad to be back at Notre Gamble for the introduction. My name is Majak, as you heard. I'm from South Sudan, Notre Dame class of 2018. And I work with an organization called Education Bridge. It's based in South Sudan. I started Education Bridge in 2017, and our mission is to try to bring people and communities of South Sudan closer to their dreams through education. The reason I do this work is because in my own country, we don't have a lot of opportunities, and through all my personal journey, I came to realize that though our dreams are quite universal, the opportunity that we have is not always available. The opportunities are not available for everyone. I struggled to come to grip with this idea many years ago in my own country of South Sudan. I was born in a country that had a history of war, and by the time I wanted to go to school, there were no school. And I dreamed of her being a great thing. I wanted to be a great neurosurgeon, and I couldn't do it. So in 2005, I made a hard choice to leave my family in South Sudan and to go to Kakuma refugee camp in northern Kenya, and that is where I received most of my education. I know when people think of refugee camp, they think hopeless. And as tough a place as Kakuma was, I think it shaped me a lot. It's one of the first places where I got to interact with people from all ethnic communities across South Sudan, and that challenged many stereotypes that I was brought up with. South Sudan has 64 different ethnic communities, all with demeaning narrative about the other, and that was challenged. My experience playing, going to school with those people, challenge that, and that still, I think, shape how I interact with them and how I work with them today. It was also in Kakuma that I actually had a chance to receive the foundation of education that later brought me to Notre Dame. Of course, a lot of people had to help, my mom, my teachers, and my sponsors, for me to be able to get to that place. So a couple of years ago, while I was here at Notre Dame, thinking about myself going to medical school, I had to think about the many people in South Sudan that were not as lucky to get the same opportunities, and this is what led me to go back to South Sudan and try to help in the small ways I can. So in 2017, I went back to South Sudan to open Greenbelt Academy. Today, that school serves about 392 students. Our mission is to be able to open 10 academies in South Sudan that will serve 400 students, provide them opportunities. We have two main goals. The first goal really for us is to provide quality education that will give these young people self-reliance, including girls. In South Sudan, only 27% of people can read and write. And recently, just because of the crisis that is happening, UNICEF just released a report that actually showed that 70% of children are out of school. So a school like ours are doing, I think, a great thing in terms of just actually preparing people to be self-reliant and to be able to do things for themselves. We try to teach them entrepreneurial skills that can help them lift themselves out of poverty, so individually and as a community. The second thing we do as a school is we try to use educational spaces for peace building. Try to challenge the dominant narrative that we have within our country in a way that can put a common narrative, that of one nation, that of one country that's proud of its diversity. And I think that comes mainly from my experience in Kakuma and realizing the beauty of actually living with all of these people, and the idea that we actually have the same need, we have the same dreams, and we can actually, I think, do well together. So that's one of the things we try to do at school. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. I think it's a bright spot in what is a gloom of South Sudan. I want to talk a little bit about this picture. So when people think of South Sudan, and everything happening in the news, it's quite easy to get discouraged. But I think for us as young South Sudanese, we don't have a choice, right? I think we have to continue doing a lot more for the younger generation. In South Sudan, we have a long tradition of children taking care of children, right? Which I think is being portrayed in this picture. It's not a simple task. I think it's a responsibility. And during the time of war, when our parents were all fighting and hustling for living, we were given this task of actually taking care of our younger siblings. So if you were the firstborn and you are grown up, you don't expect to have a baby a babysitter for the rest of the children, right? You take care of them. And today, when I see what we are doing as young people, I think with our leaders in South Sudan, of drinking in Kampala and Nairobi, we, the younger generation, really have the task to continue doing all we can to actually prepare the next generation in a way that can bring about the South Sudan that we dream. So I'm really proud of the work that our school is doing. This year, we've been able to provide a lot of opportunities for some of our students. 2 of them were here at Notre Dame. Thank you to Notre Dame Pre-College. And a couple of them did other international programming. That is a way for us to be able to show them the world and the possibilities that are out there. And locally, we continue to challenge them to think about the condition of our country and the responsibility that lies ahead of them. Of course, all of that wouldn't be possible without the help of friends. Here at Notre Dame, I've had a lot of help. I have a board here at Notre Dame. Katie, thank you a lot. Steve and many other people have been helping me from the very beginning. And without their support, I don't think I'll be able to do that. A couple of Notre Dame students, Jenny, who is my director of development, is a class of 2017. She's done a lot of work to actually make this work. So I'm thankful to the Notre Dame community for that support. And I ask that you continue supporting us. This work is not, sometimes we get recognized as individuals, like I'm getting today. But really, it's the effort of all of you guys that actually make that work. So thank you. I just want to end on the note that we still have more to be done, and whatever way you guys can help us, you can help us. You can help us through sponsoring our students. You can help us through liking our Facebook page. Whatever ways you guys can, we will really appreciate. But I want to end my talk by just alluding to one of the African leaders who had, I think, a great motto. He would used to say in Portuguese, "A luta continua," a guy called Samora Machel, and that means the struggle continues. So to everyone that has been supporting me, the struggle continues. Let's try our best, and I hope South Sudan will be a better country. Thank you.